everyone. My name is Stacy McClam, and I want to take you back to when I was 17 years old. I remember going home one day after school with my mom. We entered the house, and I still had my backpack on. She walked to the answering machine, pushed the button, and the message was clear. I remember it. It was my high school counselor telling me not to apply to certain schools. My high school counselor proceeded to tell me that I should not apply to the University of California system for college, and I was just speechless. I don't remember a conversation that I had with my mom. All I remember her saying is, "We're going to apply anyway, you let them tell you no." Meaning the colleges and universities, let them tell you no, we're not going to put your fate into this high school counselor. So that was one of many experiences, negative experiences I had in school, wondering why a high school counselor who's supposed to encourage you, inspire youth, would take the time out of her busy day to discourage me and to leave a negative comment on my parents' answering machine. She had never called my house before, and just took the time that day to do that. So it reminds me of, I have a story to tell, and it reminds me of Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama, also her high school counselor, told her that she was not Princeton material. Even though her brother was going to Princeton University at the time, even though she had many accomplishments at her high school counselor felt that she wasn't fit. And so throughout Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, she talks about this feeling of, am I good enough? Am I good enough? And Michelle has proven to us that the answer is yes, and all of us are good enough. Michelle also was bused to schools. I was bused to schools from an all-black neighborhood to schools across town. And I remember waking up early every morning and wondering why it was still dark outside, why everyone else in the neighborhood was still asleep. The neighborhood school was only 5 minutes away, and I didn't understand why I didn't go to my neighborhood school. And so I later just learned about the commute, long commutes to school, resiliency. It taught me early on that schools are different because I was getting bused starting from 6 years old, so that's first grade. And it was quite an experience. I had a lot of negative experiences in the K-12 education school system. And so, again, this is my story, and Michelle Obama has a similar story with being bused. In Chicago, she was bused from her neighborhood on the south side to schools across town, starting in high school. And she had a long commute as well. Mine wasn't 90 minutes like hers, but she had 90 minutes one way. She and her friend would take 2 buses and then coming back, so it's a total of 3 hours every day. And that takes a toll on you, but to have the resilience to wake up that early, to know that your parents are sending you to that school for a reason, and to persevere despite the challenges, says a lot about our First Lady. Also, I attended law school, and I'm a former teacher, but throughout my teaching career, I saw the same patterns across the United States with challenges, people not having high expectations for predominantly Black students. And that really bothered me, so I thought I could use the law to impact education. Went to law school, graduated, and then went back to teaching because that's where my heart was. And so I thought a lot about, well, not wasted, but I've gone to law school, invested in this career, now I'm going back to teaching. And now I'm a filmmaker making films about education issues, so I had to make a decision, and it makes me think of Michelle Obama as well, where she was at law school, Harvard Law School, and she had a lot of challenges as well, thinking of things like, I'm not good enough, even though she's at this prestigious Ivy League law school, she still had a lot of challenges in questioning herself in a hostile environment where people didn't think that she was good enough to be there. And she became an attorney, as you all know, worked at a top law firm in Chicago, and she left that good paying job, nice corner office, everyone's definition of success, because that wasn't in her heart to do. She thought she had to prove herself by going to law school and becoming an attorney because of what she had gone through her whole education career. And so she decided to work in the community, to mentor young people, to be a public servant. And that's what I really admire about Michelle Obama. Also, I have a lot of respect for the women in her life, her mother in particular, who really supported her behind the scenes, a lot that we don't know, but you know, the voice that's there with you going through this all these years. And also respect that women need to be respected. And throughout the Obama presidency, and even now, Michelle Obama has received racist, hateful comments, and it's just not acceptable at all. And to see her resilience and perseverance, courage to continue despite the challenges and to be a bright light really means a lot. So thank you guys. And if you're interested in seeing my film, it's called Mr. Advocate. It screens in Richmond, California, August 15th. You can talk to me about it later. Thank you so much for this wonderful space. Miss Carolyn, I don't know where she is, but thank you guys.